Pretty much everybody who moves to San Diego wants to live as close to the beach as possible, but our budgets don't always allow for that, which is why I am always on the lookout for great places to live inland. And today I want to walk you through the number one place that I would live if I needed to live in East County, San Diego.
Welcome to La Mesa, California. It's known as the Jewel of the Hills, and we're about 9 miles east of downtown San Diego, or in, language that actually means anything, we're about 20 minutes without traffic to Ocean Beach. This place is so cute and it's really pretty and it has everything you could need. It's got the mix of historic charm, it's got walkability, it's got good food, amazing hillside views, and all the big box stores you can think of. I'm one of those nerds who, as I pass towns, I wonder, why was that town built in that location? So of course I had to look up why La Mesa exists. And it turns out it's because there are springs that go through the area, and of course water sources are always a draw for civilization. And then ultimately the railroad passed through the area too and led to the building of the oldest train station in San Diego. And from there, the area just continued to grow. The city was actually incorporated back in 1912, and it's maintained some of that old school small town charm within La Mesa Village, which is the historic downtown. It's filled with shops and restaurants and coffee shops and all kinds of other services, and it's surrounded by older homes, some of which actually date back to the beginning of La Mesa at the beginning of the century. Okay, the beginning of last century. I was born last century, so it's always going to be last century as far as I'm concerned. All right, moving on. La Mesa is still working hard to keep up with the times and is actively planning for the future as well by building lots of new apartments and condos, and that's all to help with the growing population that's expected. And then they're doing a lot of community programs for seniors to help with the expected aging of the population. They do not, however, have any 55 and over communities, which I'll be curious to see if that changes at some point in the future. One thing to note about La Mesa that I haven't seen mentioned in a lot of places is that there is the city of La Mesa, and then there's also the unincorporated area with a La Mesa mailing address. So the unincorporated area doesn't get services from the city of La Mesa. It gets services such as the sheriff from San Diego County. And you won't vote in any of the La Mesa city elections if you live in the unincorporated area, but you will be able to vote for school district stuff. It's not really a big deal, but I wanted to point it out so you're not surprised if you buy a house that's in La Mesa, but then find out that you're not actually in the city of La Mesa. La Mesa's got a good variety of different types of neighborhoods depending on your vibe, as well as a variety of price points. Single-family homes in La Mesa range from around $650,000 for like a 2-bedroom and go up to $5 million for, big fancy stuff. The average is around $1.1 million. Condos and townhomes start as low as $350,000, which is amazing. Of course, that's for like a 1-bedroom, but then they go up to around $850,000. The average is around $571,000. If you want a home with a view, you're likely in the mid $1 million range. La Mesa doesn't do neighborhoods the way a larger city like San Diego does, so they're not like really well defined. And what I found is different sources give you different lists of what the neighborhoods in La Mesa are, but I'm just going to cover the most commonly mentioned ones. So let's start downtown. La Mesa Village is why I fell in love with this area. It's absolutely adorable, and it's really, if you want a walkable lifestyle, you want to be able to walk to coffee and restaurants and shops and events, this is the place to live. It's got a real Main Street USA feel, including lots of great old buildings. The homes around the area are also amazing and totally what I love, which is the craftsman bungalow style, including those ones that I mentioned that were built in the early 1900s, some Spanish style, and a lot of mid-century ranch homes. The landscaping around La Mesa Village is also really mature and really beautiful. And right now it's springtime and it's especially pretty with all the flowers. This is where you want to live if you really want the walkable lifestyle, because not only can you walk to everything that's in the village, which includes fitness studios and other services, but you can also walk to the trolley so that you can get to other parts of San Diego without having to deal with traffic or parking. La Mesa Village also hosts the many events that the city of La Mesa puts on throughout the year, which include things like Oktoberfest, Holiday in the Village, the Classic Car Show, and the weekly farmers market. Downsides to living in the village area is that it can get busy on the weekends and during events. The streets are also super narrow and windy since the area is really hilly. So it may not be great if you have a huge car, and if you don't have a garage for some reason, parking on the streets can be a challenge. Because the homes are mostly older in this area, you may need to budget for updating plumbing or electrical or just cosmetic stuff. Although there are a lot of people flipping homes in this area also, but then you also get all the charm that comes with an older house. This area totally reminds me of like the Hollywood Hills or something, with the great views, the windy roads, the really cool houses, and it's got some secret little interesting things going on too. The La Mesa Secret Stairs are in the village area, and if you want to get a great workout in, you can climb the stairs. They go up and down one of the hills in the area and connect the streets to each other, because the streets like literally spiral up the hill. If you are okay not having the walkability, but you just want a really beautiful place to live, you might like the Mount Helix area. Now, let me preface this by saying this is the more expensive area within La Mesa, so this will also be budget dependent. But if this is a place you like and can afford, it's pretty awesome. It's more upscale, more private, a little bit of that like artistic vibe, very retreat-like. There are lots of custom homes. Most of them probably have sweeping views. You can see all the way to the ocean on clear days, and the mountains and the whole valley around La Mesa is all visible. It's really, really pretty. The lots are really private. There's a lot of nature, lots of mature landscaping, trees. The roads are super windy. It makes it feel almost like you're like going up into the mountains or something, or even like a more compact version of Rancho Santa Fe. It just has that more private feel, more like you're supposed to only be here if you belong here. It's got a really strong sense of neighborhood pride, and it has Mount Helix Park, which is a beautiful hilltop park with an amphitheater. They'll have plays and concerts up there. There's a huge cross on top of it. It's beautiful for sunrises and sunsets, and they have lots of community events up there. It's also just a great place. People just walk up the hill, and that's how they get their exercise, is walk up to the park, go see the pretty view, and walk back down. But that's pretty much what you can walk to. There are no, shops, restaurants, anything like that near here. So you will have to be able to drive elsewhere. And again, since the roads are really narrow and winding, might not be the best for like a super large SUV or a giant truck or something like that. Although, because it feels kind of rural, I'm sure you'll still find those here. With the higher prices, you also get a lot more like unique homes. Most of them have been custom built. There are fewer like the cookie cutter options. It can also make pricing a little more challenging because, no two of the houses are the same, but it is such a beautiful area. And if you want something that feels a little bit more upscale, but has beautiful views, which by the way, Rancho Santa Fe doesn't even always have, this is such a great location. Our next stop is the Severn Grossmont area, which is in the northeast section of La Mesa. It is so named because of Grossmont Center and Severn Drive. Grossmont Center is a really big shopping center with stores like Target, Macy's, Walmart, Famous Footwear, that kind of stuff. Across the street from it is Sharp Grossmont Hospital, and around these are a trolley stop and mostly apartments, as well as like lots of other stores. There's a Costco in the area, stuff like that. If you head over toward the Severn area, you'll find lots of condos and mid-century homes that make really great starter homes. As we head up Severin, we come into Fletcher Hills, which is really known to be in El Cajon, but this one little section is actually in La Mesa. The area has really great freeway access to both the 125 and the 8, and it's just a great area if you want the convenience to all the shopping and if you need to commute, or if you work at the hospital or are just looking for a starter home or a great downsizing option. The last area we're going to visit is the Lake Murray area. And of course, the highlight of this part of La Mesa is Lake Murray, which is actually a reservoir, but it's a really lovely place to just get away from the hustle and bustle of everything. You can take out a boat and fish on the lake, or rent a paddle boat or a kayak. You can not swim in it since it's a reservoir, but there are beach areas where people do lay out or just go to watch the sunset. There is also a 3.2 mile bike path around the lake, but it's not a full loop, so you have to come back the same way, making for a round trip total of 6.4 miles. This area is also super easy access to Coles Mountain, which is one of the most popular hikes in San Diego. The homes in the Lake Murray area vary from great entry-level condos to larger single-family homes. It's definitely got a suburban neighborhood feel, and along those lines doesn't have a lot of restaurants or stores in the direct area. That being said, it's still really easy to get to the Grossmont area to go shopping or to the village to go out to eat.
So I hope that gave you a feel for why I really like La Mesa. It's got the cute little historic downtown. It's got hiking spots and water. It's got beautiful views. It's got so much community feel, and it's great for pretty much anybody. So if you're looking for someplace great to live in San Diego, but you can't afford to live at the beach, definitely check out La Mesa. And if you're just starting your home search in San Diego or still need to figure out what neighborhood you want to live in, reach out. I'd love to help you figure those things out. Also, don't forget to subscribe to see more of my tours. And if there's a neighborhood you specifically want me to cover, comment below and let me know.